You know that person who always shows up before everyone else? Not 5 minutes early, 15, sometimes 20. They sit there quietly, scrolling their phone, pretending they're not aware they're too early. Yeah, that person isn't trying to impress anyone. They're trying to avoid something. If you're someone who would rather wait awkwardly than risk being late, welcome. This video is going to feel uncomfortable, in a familiar way. Today, we're breaking down the psychology of people who arrive too early, a habit most people joke about, but psychology sees as something much deeper. Here's the truth. For many people, being late doesn't just feel inconvenient, it feels unsafe. Psychologists link this behavior to anticipatory anxiety. The mind runs ahead of reality, imagining traffic, misunderstandings, doors closing, people waiting and judging. Arriving early becomes a way to control the future before it can go wrong. And no, this isn't about being organized, it's about reducing uncertainty. Some people regulate stress by planning. Others regulate stress by positioning themselves early so nothing unexpected can catch them off guard. There's also something called hyper-responsibility. People who arrive too early often feel an exaggerated sense of obligation, not because anyone asked, but because they feel it internally. If something goes wrong, they don't want to be the reason. Even the idea of inconveniencing someone creates discomfort. So they arrive early, not to be seen, but to disappear into readiness. Another layer people don't talk about. Early arrivals are often highly observant. They notice shifts in tone. They feel tension before words are spoken. Their nervous system is tuned to changes in the environment. Arriving early gives them time to read the room before the room fills up. It's easier to enter a space when it's quiet, before expectations start, before conversations overlap, before social roles lock into place. But society jokes about this behavior. You're so extra. You know it doesn't start yet, right? What they miss is this. Early arrival isn't about time. It's about emotional preparation. For some people, this habit comes from childhood. Growing up in environments where mistakes had consequences, where being late meant tension, disappointment, or conflict, the brain learns early, arrive before the problem exists. And that pattern sticks. Now, there is a difference we need to acknowledge. Some people arrive early because it brings calm. Others arrive early because they're afraid of being wrong. One is regulation. The other is fear wearing the mask of responsibility. So here's the real question. Do you arrive early because you enjoy the quiet moment before everything begins, or because being late feels like a failure you can't tolerate? Because those two look identical from the outside, but they come from very different places inside. People who arrive too early are rarely careless. They think ahead, they prepare, they value reliability, sometimes more than comfort. They're the ones who sit alone before the event starts, who wait without complaining, who don't need to announce they were early. And if that's you, you're not broken, you're not weird. Your brain just prefers readiness over risk. Psychologists call this threat-avoidant timing behavior. It's not about productivity, it's about peace. Tell me, do you arrive early because it calms you or because being late feels unbearable? And if this video felt a little too accurate, the next one is going to explain another habit you never realized was psychological.